to be normal, to be just like anybody else. That is what others try to do, when all I wish is to be myself. Different as I may be, I still have a heart. So while I may not fit your image of normality, some acceptance would be a nice start. If you look all over the world, things are different. Different cultures, different beliefs, different personalities. Don't you see? Difference is part of individuality. So while we may want to fit in and feel fear or discomfort at what is different, remember that that instinct can be useful, but it is also outdated. We all have one commonality. We are all human. Isn't that more important than having a disability or the color of one's skin? The saying goes, stand out, fit in. Both are important in society. Yet everyone should know these opposites can both be achieved simultaneously. Because if I am me and you are you, we are both human, even with our differences too. So before you give in to fear, lend the person your ear, and you may just find that getting along is a matter of mindfulness. Different as we can be does not equal an incompatibility. And the more we learn, the more our fear can cease. And perhaps then, and only then, we'll be one step closer to peace. It is an emotion and instinct more ancient than the human race. Animals feel fear, and still it persists in us humans to this day. In the past, it helped us survive. And while fear still plays that role today, it would seem that it would also play the part in the downfall of humanity if we don't act today. We often fear what we perceive as different from ourselves, and that would include people who are different than what we perceive ourselves and those close to us to be. Sometimes there is a threat in those who are different, but more often than not, such perceived differences between humans are of no threat at all. What happens when we treat those who are different than us as a threat? It can be as primal as baring our teeth and going to war, or it can be as simple as ignoring the person next to you and walking away. Imagine if it was you who stood out with a difference and was not what society considered normal. How do you think some people might treat you? In school, would you be bullied? At a party, would you be ignored? Amidst everyone, would you easily be able to find the people that would accept you for who you are? The poem I just shared with you comes from my experience as someone with autism. I was diagnosed when I was in 4th grade, and it took me a long time to accept the fact that my mind was wired a little differently than what was considered normal. But when I was finally able to accept this about myself, I quickly found that much of society did not. It was hard to find and make friends, and that wasn't just simply due to my social deficits. I was lucky enough to end up in a school for kids with special needs and made a few friends there during junior high and high school. But after I graduated, the problem of making friends persisted. People would ignore me. People would not follow up with me. I'd always reach out to others, and they'd make little to no effort to reach out to me. Simply put, they probably didn't know how to, or were unwilling to, accept my differences. This brings me back to my earlier point. We, as human beings, often fear those who are different than us. Fear, in my opinion, doesn't need to always be about feeling scared. It can be as simple as what causes you to turn away from someone else simply because you sense a difference, and instead of finding out how you can get along, you choose the easy or less risky path of not giving that person a chance. There are plenty of good people out there who do this. That is because fear changes our choices in ways that can be uncharacteristic of who we are. And yet, of course, not everyone is going to get along, and that is understandable and acceptable. But I still think more people can get along if they were to realize their fear and realize that they can overcome it. Throughout the ages, humans have often told stories of heroes, both real and fictional. And one of the key qualities of a hero is the ability to show courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the will to face it. I've seen at least a few variations of this quote, and it is indeed true. To face fear in any of its forms is to show some form of courage. We often attribute courage to obvious heroic acts such as saving a person's life. But perhaps this idea can be taken a step further towards our everyday lives. If one talks to and befriends someone, even if that person is different, perhaps that may be saving a life. One conversation can alter a person's path. By being the person that shows kindness, empathy, and compassion, by being the person who shows courage by lending an ear and listening, you may very well make a huge difference. Even if we don't always understand the problems of others, perhaps we don't need to. Friends come in various forms. Some bear each other's burdens. Some show compassion even if they don't or can't understand what one is going through. And some will make the effort to lift their friend out of the negativity they feel so that they will be better equipped to face whatever it is they're dealing with. Regardless of how one helps another person, being a friend or a kind stranger is what's necessary. And that takes a form of courage. Perhaps you won't be recognized as a hero, but you may have done something that helped or saved someone, and that person may go on to help someone else, and that may spread to the point of saving the world in one way or another. So the next time you see someone sitting alone at a party, why not go talk to them? The next time you witness someone having a bad day, why not reach out? And the next time your instinct is to turn away from someone else because they're different, perhaps think twice about what you are fearful of. Instead of avoiding them, maybe give them a chance before writing them off as weird. Yes, fear is a primal instinct. Yes, there is a reason we still have it. But as humans, we have the ability to assess our fear and to try to understand where it is coming from. We have the ability to show courage and overcome what it is we're afraid of. We're not separate from our primal roots here on Earth. We are connected to the Earth and its well-being. And the Earth's well-being is connected to ours. We may not all be the brilliant minds that will solve climate change, even if we all have a role to play in that effort. But perhaps some of the brilliant minds that will come up with the solutions to save the planet and its inhabitants are not society's image of normal. Perhaps they are ignored and left behind. Show them that they are accepted. Show them that people can care. Show them
that they have humanity as a commonality that connects them to you. In doing so, you will show yourself that you don't have as much to fear as you maybe once thought you did. Because being human is what connects us all. And only in standing together can we find a future where the planet flourishes and where we flourish, regardless of if we're different or not.